was an 84-month sentence, and that was the defining moment of my life.
So how much time did you do?
The sentence was 7 years. I spent 6.5 of it in prison, and I spent 5 months of it in the halfway house.
So how was prison life?
Well, first going in, it's a culture shock for sure, especially where I was put.
Where were you put?
First, you go to MCC, New York. And
where's MCC?
MCC is down in Foley Square, where all the federal buildings are, which is a different world today. Everything's barricaded because this was pre-terrorist ages that I went to prison. But in MCC I was celled up next to Matula Shakur and Brinks robbers and folks like that. I was with some hardened criminals. And
how did they treat you? How old were you?
Well, let's see. Let's do the math. I'm 41 today. Although I don't mind telling people I'm 31. Turning back the clock. So it's been I've been home 3 years, and I went away for 7. So it will be 10 years ago. So it would be 31 when I went. Yeah.
31.
So went in there and I adapted. Actually, I went to Jersey. Because that's where the sentencing took place. The crime that was committed was in Jersey. I was in New York. They came into New York, got me, brought me to Jersey, locked me up in Elizabeth in some county jail. People were in there for bodies. You had to adapt. You had to fight to stay alive. That's just the way it was. For me, I had very few fights. I've been in the Marine Corps when I was younger. I went in, my tour was 2 years. I got an honorable discharge. I got an early honorable discharge. I've been trained, just like any other Marine, boot camp, Paris Island, the whole nine. And also, I love the sport of boxing. So I did go in with some survival skills. And but I chose, when that judge sentenced me, I chose at that point to make a difference, to make a change. And right from there, I wasn't gonna wait 7 years. I had to do something with that time. And when the gate was slammed on me, I started writing songs. I wrote 4 songs a day, and I wrote 4 songs a day for 300 songs. I just kept going, and I said to myself, well, listen, maybe I could win an Oscar in here, because a Grammy Award, because I know with a gentleman, there was a gentleman that won an Oscar from prison. So that was a reference in my mind, that I could make something out of this, that I could make something positive out of this. Well, long story short, I sent what I considered the best of my songs to a friend out here in Westchester. We have some producers out here in Westchester. And this one producer, will be nameless, who deals with big stars. He's got at least 20, 30 million records to his credit in terms of records sold. This gentleman had taken me into his house back in the day, when I was doing a TV show and the magazine, etc. Took me in as a friend, gave me money, gifted me at the time. So I sent him songs, and he sent them back with a little note, don't send me any more songs. Now, I take that to mean, I take it the way I want, I take it to mean that because you know how people send songs to people, and then they later claim, oh, you stole my song. So I understand all of that. But he could have at least on the note said, I hope you're doing well. He didn't think I'd hear that. That was a turning point for me. And that made me start to write books. Because if I couldn't affect people with my songs, at least not now, and I still have those songs, by the way, but I could at least write books and affect the people that were in my immediate vicinity who could read the same books that I wrote, and then inevitably I could publish them. Because remember, I used to publish the magazine, so I could draw the line, the reference between taking something from mine and making it matter. And so I already knew in my mind that I was publishing when I was writing. And that first book took a year, and there was a lot of adaptation in the first year. I had to adapt to my environment. And then eventually it took 3 months, and then I got it down to now it takes me 2 weeks to write a book.
We're talking to Relentless Aaron, very interesting young man, as you have heard. And his former name was DeWitt Gilmore, from Mount Vernon, essentially, but he is world-traveled, and he's been in a lot of things. Some of it not so good, but most of it now is good. But weren't you involved in pirating tapes one time? Michael Jackson.
Yeah, way back. Way back, I got a probation sentence.
Because I saw you on television.
Yeah, I love that big. TV. I don't know if TV loves me or I love TV. One or the other. TV is just.
I said, I don't believe this kid.
By any means necessary, I got to be on TV. But How
old were you then?
Back when I was I think it was 17 or 18. A friend of mine. I was involved in the entertainment industry. A friend of mine who was behind the scenes at the Jackson camp gave me a videotape, and it was the Victory Tour.
Right.
And I saw it as gold. I just got a couple VCRs. Stacked them up in my living room on Lorraine Avenue and just made copies and started selling them for $75 a clip. And you could only buy 3 at a time. You couldn't buy one. So I was selling them. I was every customer was $200. I was in heaven. What? I didn't know better. I didn't understand the copyright infringement. It didn't matter. Mm-hmm. All I knew was this was in my hands. It was for a reason. Let me go make copies. People want it. Let me get some money. And hey,
that's a linear thought pattern.
I'm just I'm an obsessive person.
Yeah, but to put it mildly.
But today, in this day and age, I'm obsessive by design. I choose to be obsessive about the right things, about the right people. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said I would never take any of that back, because it's all relevant. It creates the fabric of who I am today, the tapestry. It makes me a well-rounded individual. Yes, I've been in the Marine Corps. I've also done college. I've been in Pace University and Westchester Business Institute. I've run a deli when I was 10 years old. I used to sell liquor. I know what Wild Irish Roses. I know what Gordon's Gin, Seagram's, Seagram's Gin, Gordon's. I ran a nightclub, a topless club, an entertainment club, dealt with dancers, dealt with, celebrities. I'm just living that life. And then, of course, there's the prison, and that is like a whole nother world. And you ask me how was prison? I evolved. In prison, I evolved. I found my purpose. I really
gave you time to think and grow up.
Yeah, and there was a greater level of awareness there, because you meet people from all over the world, not just Westchester, not just the Bronx or Brooklyn or Manhattan or Harlem. You meet people from that are Portuguese, and you say, wait a minute, that's not just a Spanish person. They Portuguese. They feel different from Dominicans. They feel different from Puerto Ricans.
Right.
So you realize that it's not just white, black, and yellow, and Asian. You're like, okay, there's Japanese, Chinese. These things are not taught to you in Trap Hagen School.
Right.
These things are not taught to you in Lincoln School. Well, at least at that time they weren't. Because at the time it was just black and white, Ernie. At the time it was just black and white. But now, evolving into the man I am, I understand people, and I understand respect. And there's a universal respect, universal law that I live by. When you give good, you get good back. It's just that karma that I live by every day now, and that's the person that I've become because of prison.
Relentless Aaron is his name. He's an author, publisher, visionary, and founder of Relentless LLC. And as you see, he has lived the life. If he died tomorrow, he wouldn't have to owe anybody anything, because he's packed a whole lot of living in life. But you're fortunate, because were those experiences that could have broken a whole lot of people.
Absolutely. Fortunately, there weren't a lot of folks that I stepped on. There were a lot. On the other hand, there were a lot of people that I helped in my days. And I was always a good person at heart. I think we're all good people deep down, Ernest. And I think that the difference.